Every night, just as the city begins to fall silent, something strange happens. Around 12:15 a.m., delivery apps glitch. A new destination appears, a street that doesn't exist in daylight. It's a phantom address, a digital ghost that haunts the GPS systems of late-night drivers. They call it Oak Hollow Court. We've gathered footage, talked to drivers who've seen it pop up on their screens, attempting high-payout delivery to a place they can never find. Dashcams show them circling blocks, their navigation systems insisting the destination is just ahead. Yet all they find are dead ends and darkened parks. Google Maps pins drop onto empty lots, the satellite images showing nothing but overgrown weeds where a whole neighborhood is supposed to be. One driver, a guy named Leo, actually tried to accept the delivery. He followed the erratic blue line on his phone, which led him down an old, unpaved service road he'd never noticed before. His dashcam shows the path getting narrower, trees closing in overhead, until the GPS announces, "You have arrived." But there was nothing there, just an eerie silence and the feeling of being watched. He reversed out of there as fast as he could, the app crashing the moment he hit the main road again. This isn't just a one-time bug. It happens every single night. A digital breadcrumb trail leading to nowhere. Drivers share their stories in online forums, posting screenshots of the mysterious Oak Hollow Court appearing and disappearing from their maps. Some call it a prank, a clever bit of code designed to mess with them. Others, however, believe it's something more. They whisper about a neighborhood lost to time, a place that only exists in the witching hour, briefly bridging the gap between our world and somewhere else. So, what is Oak Hollow Court? Is it a forgotten piece of history, a collective digital hallucination? Or is it an invitation from a neighborhood that vanishes with the morning light? We decided to dig deeper, to piece together the clues, and try to solve the mystery of the neighborhood that disappears after midnight. Join us as we venture into the unknown. And if you enjoy exploring life's strange mysteries, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you don't miss what we uncover next. Thanks for watching. Imagine this. You're a driver, just trying to make a few extra bucks on a late-night run. It's a quiet Tuesday, just past midnight. You get a notification for a pickup near Henderson, Nevada. Nothing unusual, right? That's what Eli Torres thought too. He accepted the ride, plugged the address into his GPS, and started driving into the familiar expanse of the desert that surrounds the city. The road was dark, the kind of inky blackness you only get far away from the city lights. Then, his GPS did something strange. It rerouted him. The new destination, a place he'd never heard of, Oak Hollow subdivision. Eli was confused. He'd been driving these roads for years, and knew there was nothing out here but sand and scrub brush. But he followed the directions, trusting the tech. He drove on, the asphalt giving way to a freshly paved road, and then he saw it. Lights, not just one or two, but a whole neighborhood, materializing out of the desert darkness like a mirage. Perfect. Two-story homes with manicured lawns and picket fences lined the street. Sprinklers were gently misting the grass, even though it was the middle of the night. A child's red tricycle was left carelessly on a driveway, as if its owner had just been called inside for dinner. Everything looked pristine, idyllic, almost asterisk to asterisk perfect. Eli slowed his car to a crawl, a feeling of unease creeping over him. This didn't make any sense. A brand new, fully populated subdivision in the middle of nowhere, and he'd never even heard a whisper about it. He pulled over, intending to call the customer to confirm the address. He glanced at his phone. No signal, not a single bar. He tried to pull up the ride-hailing app, but the address he was supposed to be going to had vanished. It was just gone. Now, seriously spooked, Eli fumbled to open his phone's camera. He figured it had to be some kind of elaborate prank, maybe a movie set. He started recording short clips, panning across the impossibly perfect houses, the silent, empty streets, the eerie glow of the streetlights. He narrated what he was seeing, his voice a little shaky. "There are lights on in all these houses," he whispered, "but there's no one, not a single person." He drove slowly down the main street, which the signpost called Whispering Pines Lane. Every house was lit, every lawn was perfect, but there were no cars in the driveways, no movement behind the windows. It was a ghost town with all the lights on. He checked the time on his car's dashboard, 2:58 a.m. He decided he'd had enough. This was too weird. He put the car in drive, ready to get out of there and forget this ever happened. As the clock ticked over to 2:59 a.m., a single porch light at the end of the street began to flicker, then another, and another. In a cascading wave, every light in Oak Hollow the porch lights, the warm glows from within the houses flickered violently, and then went out, plunging the entire neighborhood into absolute blackness. Eli slammed on the gas, his heart pounding against his ribs. He didn't dare look back, but a glance in his rearview mirror confirmed his deepest fear. There was nothing there. The perfect houses, the green lawns, the entire subdivision, it was gone. Behind him was only the dark, empty desert, as if Oak Hollow had never existed at all. He was alone on a deserted road, with only a few grainy video clips on his phone as proof of the neighborhood that disappears after midnight. Eli uploaded the footage, hoping for answers. But what he got was a tidal wave of skepticism. The comments flooded in. Fake CGI? Nice editing skills? Bro, people picked apart every frame, every shadow, claiming it was just another well-crafted hoax for internet clout. But Eli knew what he saw. It wasn't a trick of the light or a digital creation. It was real, and he was determined to prove it. Just as the initial hype started to die down, something incredible happened. A trickle, then a flood of new reports began to surface. A long-haul trucker, driving late at night, posted a dashcam clip showing the same impossible turnoff. A rideshare driver, confused after dropping off a passenger, shared a screenshot of her GPS, showing a street that didn't exist on any map. All these sightings had one thing in common: the timestamp. Every single one occurred between the witching hours of midnight and 3 a.m. It was like a curtain lifted on a hidden world for just a few hours each night, only to vanish without a trace by sunrise. The online forums and social media threads went into a frenzy. Digital detectives and armchair investigators from around the world started compiling the evidence. They mapped out the locations, compared the footage, and cross-referenced the times. A pattern began to emerge. The neighborhood wasn't stationary. It seemed to manifest in different secluded areas, but always near old, forgotten roads. Then came the most chilling story yet. A Reddit user, posting under the name Night Eats Delivery, shared a detailed account that sent shivers down everyone's spine. He was a food delivery driver, working a late shift. An order popped up for an address he didn't recognize, in an area his app showed as empty fields. But the pay was good, and he was curious, so he took it. He described following his GPS down a dark lane until, just like in Eli's video, a street lined with quaint, old-fashioned houses suddenly appeared. He found the right house number, a place with a single dim porch light glowing. As he walked up the path, he felt an unnerving silence, a stillness that felt heavy and unnatural. A hand reached out from the slightly ajar door to take the food, but he never saw a face, just a shadowy figure. He got back in his car, feeling a deep sense of unease, and drove away. The next morning, he checked his delivery history to see the details of the bizarre order. It was gone. The entire transaction, the address, the payment vanished from the app's records as if it had never happened. The only proof he had was his own memory, and a lingering feeling that he had delivered a meal to a ghost. This single post changed everything. It was no longer just about seeing a phantom neighborhood. Someone had actually interacted with it. Had he delivered food to a resident of this disappearing world? A place that exists outside of our time. The questions were multiplying, and the mystery was getting deeper and far more personal. People weren't just watching a spooky video anymore. They were trying to piece together a puzzle that challenged their very understanding of reality. Was this a glitch in the Matrix? A pocket dimension? Or something else entirely? The community was buzzing, and everyone knew this was just the beginning. The investigation had truly begun. I just couldn't let it go. How could an entire neighborhood just vanish? My first trip out there left me with more questions than answers. So, I did what anyone in my situation would do. I went back, but this time, I wasn't going alone. I convinced my friend Mark to come with me. The plan was simple. We'd drive in separate cars, both recording everything. If the neighborhood reappeared, we'd have two different angles. Irrefutable proof that we weren't just seeing things. We set out around 7 in the evening, the sun painting the sky in shades of orange and purple. The air was thick with anticipation. We drove down the same deserted road, the one that led to nowhere. I kept my eyes glued to the GPS, my heart pounding in my chest. And then, just like before, it happened. My GPS went haywire, the screen flickering wildly. I looked up, and there it was. The neighborhood. It was exactly as I remembered it. The same quaint, old-fashioned houses, the same perfectly manicured lawns, the same eerie silence. I radioed Mark. You seeing this? His voice came back, shaky but clear. Yeah, Eli, I see it. It's really here. We drove slowly down the main street, our cameras rolling, capturing the impossible scene from two perspectives. The houses stood there, solid and real, casting long shadows in the twilight. Everything looked normal, except for the complete absence of life. No cars, no people, no lights in the windows. It was a ghost town that only existed after dark. We parked our cars at the end of the cul-de-sac. For a few minutes, we just sat there, filming, trying to process what we were seeing. The footage was undeniable. 2 cameras, 2 different angles, 1 phantom neighborhood. We had to get closer. We had to know what was inside one of those houses. I'm going to try that one, I said to Mark, pointing to the small blue house with the white picket fence. It looked almost inviting. I got out of my car, my own camera in hand, and started walking toward the house. Mark stayed back, filming me from his car. With every step, the silence seemed to grow louder. The air grew colder. I reached the front porch and hesitated. Was this a good idea? Was I about to walk into something I couldn't walk out of? I took a deep breath and reached for the doorknob. But before my fingers could touch the cold metal, the door creaked open. Just a sliver of darkness. From within that darkness, a woman's voice, soft and raspy, drifted out. It was a voice that sounded ancient, filled with a strange sort of familiarity. You're early tonight? Chills shot down my spine. Early. What did she mean? Early? Before I could even form a response, my camera feed started to glitch. The screen filled with static, the image flickering in and out. I heard Mark yelling my name through the radio, his voice frantic. Eli, what's happening? Your camera's freaking out. Then, my world went silent. The last thing I saw on my screen before it went completely black was a single, terrifying image from Mark's camera feed. It was me, standing on the porch, but I wasn't just standing there. I was walking, slowly, deliberately, as if in a trance, toward the open door, walking right into the darkness, and then, static, nothing. Both our feeds cut out completely. Mark said he just saw me vanish. I don't remember any of it. All I know is that when our cameras came back online a few moments later, the house was gone. The entire neighborhood was gone, and I was standing alone in the middle of an empty field. The sun had set, and it was officially after midnight. What happened in those missing moments? Who was that woman, and why did she say I was early? I'm piecing together the corrupted files, trying to recover any fragment of what happened inside that house. I have to go back. I know it's dangerous, but I have to find out what's in that neighborhood that disappears after midnight. Dawn breaks, painting the sky in shades of gray and pink, but for the search party, the world is still cloaked in the darkness of uncertainty. Hours ago, Eli vanished. The last message anyone received was a panicked voicemail, a cryptic warning about a neighborhood that wasn't on any map. Now, the first tangible clue has been found. A sheriff's deputy, scanning the labyrinth of rural backroads, spots something out of place. It's a car, half hidden by overgrown trees on a disused dirt track. The vehicle is instantly recognizable as Eli's sedan. As the officers approach, an eerie stillness hangs in the air, broken only by the low hum of the engine. The car is still running. Its headlights cut two bright tunnels through the morning mist, illuminating nothing but tangled brush. The driver's door is ajar, swinging gently in the breeze. But Eli is gone. Inside, the scene is unsettlingly normal, yet profoundly wrong. A half-empty coffee cup sits in the console, still warm. The driver's seat is empty. On the passenger seat lies Eli's phone. An officer picks it up, his gloved fingers swiping across the screen. It's still on, and it's been recording video. They play the most recent file. The screen is pitch black. The microphone must have been covered, but the audio is chillingly clear. Faintly, in the distance, is the sound of children laughing. It's a playful, innocent sound that, in this context, feels monstrously out of place. It echoes, fades, and then stops. The clip is only a few seconds long. The lead investigator checks the phone's GPS history, hoping to retrace Eli's final steps. The location data is there, a digital breadcrumb trail leading them to this very spot. But it's the final pinned location that makes the hair on his arm stand up. The last place Eli's phone registered before the recording stopped is a street address. Oak Hollow Court. Immediately, deputies pull out their own phones, their department-issued tablets. They run the address through every mapping system. They have Google Maps, Waze, official county, and state databases. The result is the same every time. Error. Location not found. They search for Oak Hollow as a subdivision, a housing development, a landmark. Nothing. It's as if the digital world is confirming the impossible. Oak Hollow Court does not exist. It has never existed. Standing on that lonely dirt road, with the phantom hum of an empty car, and the ghostly echo of children's laughter fresh in their minds, the investigators are faced with a terrifying reality. Eli didn't just get lost. He drove into a place that isn't there. He found a neighborhood that vanishes with the light, a place that exists only in the dark and in the last recording, on a missing man's phone. The search for Eli continues, but they are no longer just searching for a person. They are searching for a place that, according to every map in the world, is nowhere. It's been months since that night. The company eventually wrote off the incident as a system glitch, a one-time anomaly. Life, for the most part, returned to normal. Eli, well, he never drove that route again. He couldn't. He quit the next day, packed his bags, and moved to a different state, trying to put as much distance as he could between himself and the memory of Oak Hollow Court. He never spoke of what he saw, the street that wasn't there, the faint lights and windows that didn't exist, or the chilling whisper of his name on the wind. To everyone else, it was just a story he made up, a tall tale to excuse a missed delivery. But Eli knew, he knew what was real. The delivery app was updated, the so-called ghost pin scrubbed from the system. The route was reassigned, the memory of the incident buried under layers of new data and new drivers. But some things refused to be forgotten. Tonight, a new driver, young and eager, checks his phone. It's his last delivery of the night, a simple drop-off on the edge of town. He glances at the order details, a final check before he heads out. The address is unfamiliar, but the instructions are clear enough. Leave it on the porch. The name on the order sends a strange, unexplainable shiver down his spine. It reads, Eli T., and below it, a short, simple message. Leave it at the porch. I'll be waiting. He shrugs it off, starts his car, and pulls up the map. And as he drives off into the deepening twilight, on his phone screen, a single pin flickers to life, pulsing with a faint, eerie glow. Oak Hollow Court active. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this story, be sure to hit that subscribe button before the clock strikes midnight. You never know what might be waiting for you in the dark. Sleep tight.